Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning in to ChasingCinema.com's official YouTube channel. My name is Jacob Toronto, and today we're going to be talking about, nonetheless, I'd hit this desk, but it'd probably bother everyone who's listening on headphones. Let me try that again. I'm talking about the 1984 film, The Terminator. With Terminator Genisys only being 2 days away, I want to actually review the first Terminator and the second Terminator film to talk about the origins of kind of Terminator Genisys. Now, from everyone's been talking, Terminator Genisys really refers a lot to the first two Terminator movies. Because I know people are saying, well, there's actually 4 Terminator movies, Jake. Why aren't you reviewing those? Well, personally, I have Terminator 1 and 2 at my disposal. Not saying 3 and 4 are very hard, not be able to find them. I don't have the same desire to watch those, but I usually always kind of review a series, review all the movies before a series comes out, or a sequel, or a remake and such. But because it's so focused on Terminator 1 and 2, those are the movies I'm going to concentrate on. So right now, I'm going to be talking about the 1984 film, The Terminator, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Linda Hamilton. So James Cameron, who brought us his movie, wasn't the well-known director that he is now when he brought us Terminator. I believe he directed just the Piranha sequel at this point. Lo and behold, he would give audiences one of the greatest action sci-fi movies of all time. I mean, this movie still, to this day, influences heavily action movies and sci-fi movies. Though, I will say flat out right now, I am one of those people who believe that T2 is better than T1 because I think T2 is one of the greatest action movies ever made, and it's one of the few sequels that are better than the original. I've probably said that since our very second podcast when we actually did sequels better than, or maybe third or fourth podcast, sequels better than the first films. Nonetheless, Terminator is almost equally as great and a phenomenal film. However, works in a much different way. So, if you don't know the story about Terminator, let me break it down to you really quick, because if you don't know about Terminator already, you guys have a lot to catch up on. I mean, Genisys comes out in 3 days. Not even, it's Monday. 2 days, which is Wednesday, July 1st is when Genisys is going to hit theaters. You guys need to catch up already, man. Dang. 2029, The War of the Machines. All right? All you need to know is in 1984, a cyborg known as the Terminator was sent back from 2029 to kill a waitress named Sarah Connor, who would eventually be the mother of a leader in this war in the future. So Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Terminator, is sent to the past, 1984. Sent from 2029, sent to 1984. Because there is a leader in 2029 that is leading the human rebellion against the machines, named John Connor. The Terminator is instructed to eliminate Sarah Connor, who will eventually birth this person. Now, here's what's great about this movie, is you don't know all of this just yet. Which maybe I shouldn't have told you, but I'm assuming everyone's seen it already, so I'm just going to go off that. But when you watch this movie, no matter if because the thing is, if you've never seen the original Terminator and you've seen any of the other Terminators, you already know the story, which is kind of crushing, because what makes this movie work is if you don't know what's going on, it is a straight horror movie. It is scary, because you have this guy, 2 guys actually, I won't get into that though, I don't want to just go into this whole entire thing, who are basically possible killers of Sarah Connor. We just know that there is they are 2 people after a woman named Sarah Connor. There are a couple Sarah Connors in a phone book, and those girls end up dead. I mean, shot like a bunch of times, dead. So we have no idea what's going on, and that's why Arnold Schwarzenegger is a great villain in this movie. Yes, if you've not seen the original Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger is actually the original villain, the bad guy, the evil. I mean, with a name like the Terminator, you're definitely not a good guy either, you know what I mean? This movie is violent, but it's well-directed, well-acted, and has a compelling story that is memorable enough. powerful enough to create a huge franchise, which has literally carried this movie 30 years into the future. Now, I'm not talking about the plot line. 1984, 31 years later, we have the 5th installment of the franchise. So that's how powerful it is. What's funny is that most of this movie talks about 40 years in advance, so we're actually only 5 years away from talking about what should... I'm not going to get into that. I don't want to confuse you guys. Basically, 40 years from 1984 is when the War of the Machines is going down and when they're sent back in time. Anyway, we all know how time travel gets. This movie is fast-paced, and like I said... incredibly influencing on action sci-fi films. James Cameron kind of rose to power making this movie and would go on to create a sequel that is better than the original. In the movie that I'm going to review tomorrow, T2, before I review Terminator Genisys on Wednesday. Again, Terminator Genisys is not the 3rd installment, it's the 5th installment, but I know Terminator Genisys heavily concentrates on these two films. Actually, if you've seen the if you've seen the trailer for Terminator Genisys, you've seen that image of the very young Arnold Schwarzenegger CGI'd standing up. That exact moment happens in Terminator, the first film. So, I mean, I recommend you guys check it out. I'm giving you guys 2 days, okay? I've watched the Terminator franchise, and I'm watching them all today. But I've given you guys 2 days to watch these movies before Terminator Genisys. And technically even a little bit more because it doesn't come out till midnight, which if you are not coming to our premiere, let me know down here in the comment sections that you want to come, and we'll make sure we save you a seat here in Las Vegas. Town Square AMC, you want to come? Let us know down here in the comment sections below. Anyway, The Terminator is a great movie. It's held up. It's beautiful. It's fun. It's fast-paced. It's violent. It's action. And offers some of the greatest movie quotes of all time. I highly recommend you watch Terminator, but I highly recommend you tune in tomorrow when I review Terminator 2 Judgment Day, one of the greatest action movies ever made in the history of cinema. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know how you feel about The Terminator down here in the comment sections below. We'll talk about it in length. As soon as you guys comment, I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as I can and immediately start this conversation because I'm ready for some Terminator and I want to talk about it as this week leads up. Also, make sure to like this video and share it with all of your friends because the greatest compliment you could ever give us is telling your friends about what we do here at ChasingCinema.com. Last but not least, make sure to hit the subscribe button because each day we are constantly uploading to this YouTube channel movie news, cast details, trailer reviews. Like I said, tomorrow I'm reviewing Terminator 2. Today I'm talking about the Guardians of the Galaxy sequel. Yep, that's right. The title has been revealed, and I revealed it here on this YouTube page, so go check it out. I also talked about Daredevil and X-Men Apocalypse and much, much more. So check out those videos. Hit subscribe so you're never left out. Ladies and gentlemen, go watch The Terminator. My name is Jacob Toronto. Please continue chasing cinema.